You've been doing it for how long now?
It's been like 2 years now.
2 years? Wait a minute now.
Doing stand-up.
You've only been doing it for 2 years.
Only 2 years, yeah, but I was doing improv before, so I was on the stage and, acting, commercials, comedy in that sense.
Yes. I remember all
Yeah,
that.
stand-up, that was like a pandemic move.
Oh, it was? Wow. I feel like you've been doing stand-up long before that because, I know why. Because I would see you during the pandemic, all your clips you were doing of stand-up. I'm like, I didn't know Shannon's been doing stand-up for this long. She's great.
Oh, no, I just started putting my stuff out there immediately. I didn't work on my material or refine it or anything. I just put it out.
Oh my, I'm so jealous because you were so good so fast.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh my God, good for you. Yeah, you were all over the place, perform. Was it because people were afraid to perform? Or you're like, I'm going to perform at this club. I don't care. Like, how were you getting those gigs?
Texas, so nobody was afraid of anything there. COVID didn't exist, which was awesome. Kind of why I went.
Somebody sees you, know that the person who's running the club takes you under her wing and kind of mentors you to do stand-up, and within weeks you're on the stage. But I think having an improv background, you're comfortable on stage more than other people.
Sort of, because if you're doing improv, you just make it up as you go. There's
I'm not familiar with
different pressure that comes with stand-up because like if it's not funny, like you wrote that. You spent hours and weeks and years working on that material. So if it bombs, it's like it's more of a blow to your ego rather than, if you bomb in improv, it's like that's funny. That's the
exactly. It's funny, like, oh well, I had a bad night, big deal,
But that's like what's great. Like when you mess up in improv, it's like the audience sees it, like breaks out fourth wall, and you're like, oh, okay. Like
if you're having fun, I remember when I performed with Chris Farley way back in the day, and he'd come as a guest. He had just got on Saturday Night Live a little before that, so he'd come as a guest and he'd perform with us, and he would completely mess up, and he'd be like, I'm so sorry, I totally messed that whole scene. Like, and the audience just like laughing and loving it, and because he's still comfortable, even if he's messing up, the audience is still seeing him as like, he's human, he's normal, he's having fun. We don't care that he messed up. Give me a couple tips that they helped you, that put you over like the hump.
I guess just really to have fun with it. That's the main thing, and to keep working on it. Just keep doing it and
bringing it down. Boom, 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 boom. So it's as tight as possible. The least amount of words. Each word, it gets you to.
Yes, like how many laughs per minute. You want to count those, which was really, really great advice. I was told by this awesome comedian, he was like, okay, watch this clip and count how many times they're laughing per minute. And it was like between 6 and 10 times every minute.
Wow. Wait a minute, that's crazy.
And then also, if you're going to do a deep cut, which I love, you have to follow it up with something that everybody can enjoy, so everybody can laugh at. Because when I started, it was like deep cut after deep cut after deep cut, and people who got it thought it was hilarious, but not everyone always gets everything. So you just want to make something that's like universally funny to.
Oh, okay. Because speaking of deep cut, I was confused for a second by what do you mean by deep cut? You mean like a
like something that's very, very niche.
Okay, very niche kind of joke. I got you. Like, subscribe, comment.
I'm like relatable, millennial, clean comedy.
Clean comedy. You can work so much more.
Been clean from the whole squeaky clean.
Really? That's so good. It's so good. It's so hard to be funny without being, dropping an F-bomb, you know what I'm saying, here and there. But, if you can work clean, you can work a lot more than other people because it's more sought after than, the blue comic, if you will.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's just my natural personality anyway. It's just...
You're always smiling. You're ebullient. You're effervescent. Your other words, I don't even know what I'm saying, but they sound like that what you are.
They sound like fancy words. I like.
They do sound like, like, oh, take that 5-cent word. But but you always have been that way. As long as I've known you, always had a positive disposition about yourself. You're a happy person. You know what I'm saying? I always see you optimistic. I never see you sad. We would hike, and you're just always a fun person. You were like my hiking partner. You took a trip to Israel and then a war broke out?
That wasn't part of the plan. It just happened that way.
Okay.
Kind of like comedy.
Yes. So you decide, you and your boyfriend went there?
Yeah, and we went there for a wedding, but on the second morning, we woke up to the news.
And the second morning?
The second morning. So we flew in late at night, go to bed. We have one really great day, and then the next morning, it's like, "War starting. Cool. We're here."
Oh my God.
Immediately, all of the flights started getting canceled. We knew that it was a very serious situation and that it was escalating, and we just wanted to make the right call. Like, when do you get out? How do you get out? Is it safe to go to the airport? Is it safer to stay in this city? When do you go? All the flights were canceled for the next 4 days. It took us 4 days eventually to get a flight out. But we decided, okay, like, we're in Jerusalem. The tour was proceeding. They were going to see the Western Wall, which is a very, very holy spot, and it's very protected by all the IDF. So we decided to join them. We go. And as soon as we walk in, we go through all of the security and like metal detectors. I mean, there's IDF surrounding it. We're like, okay, this feels safe. But I had never been there. So I didn't know, like, I didn't have my bearings in the place. I didn't know the layout of it. But we walk in and there's this sharp corner where the wall is behind it, and you can't see that at all.
Yeah.
We got through, all we could see is from around this corner, a crowd of people running and screaming. And we hear noises, we hear running and screaming. We're like,
oh my God.
We just walked into a trap.
Yeah.
And it's a gunman, like, on the loose, like, what, like, and all I could think about in that moment was, this is how it happens. Like, I've always seen like photos and videos and hear and read about festivals where people get attacked by a gunman, and it's a crowd of people running and then they all get hit.
Oh.
But also, you just, in that moment, you don't know where to run, or
exactly.
if you should duck, if you should turn around, like, you don't know.
Shelter in place. What do you do at that point?
Yeah, the only thing we knew was to just trust the crowd, that they were running the right direction.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I guess
because we had to make a split decision in that moment, and like I said, we couldn't see around the corner, so we didn't know what was on the other side. So immediately, just instincts kicked in, start running. We run into this shelter, and we're hiding out there, and then like this full panic just came over me, and like I had never been that terrified in my entire life.
Yeah. Well, it's a life or death situation. You think you could be dying any second. I had a
totally, totally. So we're in the shelter for several minutes, and then we find out there was no gunman, but there was a rocket that landed very close to us.
Only a rocket. Much. Only a rocket with a bomb on it. Not a big deal. It's not like a gunman with a little bullet. I am doing comedy shows in pursuit of my goal of world peace. Now, you did that for a magazine.
Yes.
Right? What was that? That was Elixir by Roy?
Yeah, Elixir magazine.
Now, you did that before you wound up in Israel, am I correct?
Oh, yeah.
But isn't that crazy that you do a thing about world peace, and next thing you know, it really rings true?
It's so true. And I mean, what's crazy is, in the article, I write about how true peace really only comes from God, and that's the only answer to world peace. And it's so true. From being in the middle of a war zone, the only peace that we had that got us out and got us through it was the peace of God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I lived my writing.
You lived your writing.
Moment.
Your art became life.
Like, subscribe, comment,